How did I start this? So I worked in the Texas Medical Center for 20 years, and mostly with uninsured self-pay people. And I worked in Hep C. One test for Hep C cost $10, $15. First test, easy test. The second test, if you came back positive, was over $500. That's the confirmatory test. It's actually $686 today, that same test. And if you came back positive for the confirmatory test, you had to get a genotype test to see what strain of the virus you had. That was over $700 back then, 10 years ago. Today, that same test is $924. I worked in the med center with Hep C, and I negotiate the rates for the labs. So I knew those exact same tests were $50 and $100. And I'm like, okay, there's a disconnect here. We're trying to help the uninsured self-pay, but they have to pay this amount once they start trying to get treated. It just didn't work for me. So the very real frustrating problem for me, and sorry to say it if you hear outs and abouts, I'm formerly from Canada, okay? But one of the positive things about being in Canada is, positive and negative, is the socialized medicine. I don't agree with the way it is set up over there because you can go see a doctor, show a card, it's paid for. That's why our taxes are so high. But if you're uninsured here, you get hit with bills galore if you're uninsured. And it just didn't sit right with me. So I quit my job. I saw a disconnect. I found a why. I was like, why? What can I do? What was my why? And my why was, I need to find affordable labs for these people because I wasn't treating enough. Most of the people that came to see me couldn't see any of the doctors in the medical center. You were uninsured. But if you were uninsured and made less than $100,000 a year, which was 99% of the people that I spoke to, you could get the medicine. The Hep C medicine was $94,500 for 3 months. One pill once a day. So you had to do $3,000 worth of labs first. Then you were thinking, I have to pay $94,000 for the medication to get a cure. The drug companies don't tell you that you can actually get the medicine for free. So all those uninsured self-pay had that $3,000 bill, and I'm like, okay, that's still a hindrance to them. So when I quit my job, I was able to offer those same labs for like $350 instead of $3,000 and get the medications for them for free. I didn't charge all they had to do was fill out a form. We submitted it to the actual drug company and got it for them. So that was where I started with Hep C. And then a lot of the people were like, Wayne, my mother has glucose, diabetes issues. She's uninsured. Do you offer that test? I didn't at the time. So I went back to the regional director and I said, here's 100 of my most common labs that I want. Can you give me pricing for it? They're like, sure, you're gonna stay with the uninsured self-pay? I'm like, yep, that's my niche. So I stayed with that population, and now I do over 800 labs out of 14,000 labs. I'm in 39 states. I have 112 clinics, organizations, recovery centers that I work with, because to go to a recovery center, it costs $896 for the labs, a Hep A, B, C, HIV, and TB test. Those are what you need in order to get into most facilities. I could do them for $140. And so that just got me onto this path of, okay, I need to find something and a way to do this for people. So it's as easy as going to Amazon, literally. You can go to my website, you click on the test, you can actually go to your doctor, get a lab order, then come home and go to our site and just pick the labs. So for instance, a lipid panel, a common test. Hep C, a lot of people don't know that. But a lipid panel, everyone gets that. You go to a doctor, they always do it. It's $177. I do it for $14. Yep. So I found my why, I found what I needed to do. So like with my website, you literally just go on, you order, and you basically get the results through our portal. And then you can go and send them, and we'll fax them to your doctor. So that was my why and the reason I started all this. And like I said, I work with the American Liver Foundation. We're doing fatty liver. A lot of people need to find out what their liver status is, so I do the labs for them. I worked with Medscape, WebMD, doing stuff with them. So the affordable lab section and direct to consumers, there's a whole bunch of direct to consumers out there. Direct primary care, direct labs, consumers. So anyone that's uninsured and self-pay, there's a lot of opportunity out there, and you don't need insurance nowadays. You can get treated, you just need to know where those resources are.
All right, well thank you, Wayne, appreciate that. Now, we can ask him questions, I'm sure you guys have some right there we go.
Yes.
You said it's like Amazon and we just go plug in our labs?
Mm-hmm.
So once we plug in our labs, it basically shows us where we should go nearest to?
As soon as you sign up on our website, it literally asks for your zip code. So zip code here, the Quest is over in the Randall's building. That's the only one around here. So it gives you the location, you put in your information, and then you can go. And if you have, so if you go to the doctor, because I get this all the time, I actually had it happen last week. A woman in Tennessee needed labs for her son. They had 13 labs, couldn't find them all, because if you go to LabCorp, it's a totally different test codes and everything. So she just took a picture, sent it to us. I was able to do basically a bundle for her and said, just purchase bundle number 7 on the website. She purchased it, went to Quest. And then the labs come back into our portal. It's a HIPAA compliant portal. And then we were able to fax them to her doctor. Yep. Yes.
I had 2 questions.
Yep.
Government regulations now with the new administration focused on healthcare, and 2, are you a franchise that somebody can buy?
No, not a franchise. I literally knew the regional lab director here, and just since I negotiated the pricing for St. Luke's at the time, I just went to her. When I quit the next day, because when I came home and told my wife, I quit my job today, she's like, and what are you planning on doing tomorrow? And it's not golfing. So I went to her. She lives here or works here in Houston, and told her what I wanted to do. And it's Quest and LabCorp were the big national companies, so they have 2,400 locations across the U.S. And the other thing was, they don't really, their programs or their labs are mostly for insured people. That's where they get a bulk of their money. So since my niche was Hep C at the time, and most of these people were not seeking treatment, I just went, okay, that's my niche, I'm gonna focus on that. And I still do. As of right now, I have cured probably 477 people, saved over $30 million just on the medications. And in labs, it was 1.2 million. Yep. And what was the other question? For me, I'm just a middleman. Everything is done. They get the labs through my company. I have medical oversight, so I have 6 physicians that look at the labs, basically, if there's anything out of range or priority. But everything is on Quest. They're the ones that draw, they're the ones that process, they're the ones that do everything. So really, I have no regulations or rules. I can't do labs in New York, New Jersey, and Rhode Island. Those are the only 3, and the reason being is the state has restrictions on third-party billing. They can only bill the patient or insurance, not another company. Yep. Yes, sir.
Wayne, how long did it take you to get your online presence, your website, all that built up? You know, you left one day and then you went to work on your business. How long did it take before you were up and running with your Hep C, you know, being able to be ordered online?
I had a lot of help along the way with good Lord, I'll tell you that, because I didn't know the website. I was like, okay, I need a special website to tag into the API of Quest. So it just so happened, I worked in Hep C, I'm basically the Hep C guru here, and I went and met with a doctor in Austin. We were collaborating. He was building a website for his for pharmacy. And so I met Paul, and I told him what he was doing. He said, I can build that. He worked at Dell. And he goes, I can build that for you. And I'm like, okay, how much is this going to cost? Oh, probably about 40, 50,000. But he said, you don't have to pay me. I'm like, yeah, right. He goes, no. He said, I'll do a little percentage thing with you. He said, if we can do that, he said, I'll build it for you for free. And so that's how that started. Because I didn't have $50,000 to start right away. And so that's literally how, and it took, literally, I lost money my first 2 years. Literally, $800 to $1,000. My wife every month was like, Wayne, are we making money? Nope. Wayne, are we making? Nope. And so it wasn't until after Harvey that I got my first clinic. Literally, August 2017 is when Harvey hit. September, I met an executive director that I knew for Hep C, and she reached out to me because I was emailing everybody. And she said, come visit with me. And I got that clinic. It's a rural clinic out in Katy. And then she was attending a whole bunch of conferences. And so she was saying, oh, how much are your labs? Oh, I'm getting them at this price. Oh, how much are your labs? So then I got like Casa Buen, Christ Clinic. So it just kept on going from there.
Well, it sounds like it was a divine intervention, and you
Yes.
had to take Paul.
Yep, exactly. And I still use Paul. He's actually my right-hand man for the website. We're building a new website just basically for providers now. Yep.
So I know that you know, your focus is on the underinsured or uninsured.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any need for an elderly person on Medicare and Medicare only that would benefit from your service?
No, because they basically pay for all your labs.
Okay.
So high deductibles though, and a lot of the insurance plans have changed. So like a bronze plan does not include labs now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's some bronze plans, and the industry is all like this right now. Because one of my good friends is an insurance agent, and it's all in flux. So they're wanting to put things back onto the people. And so yeah, Medicare, Medicaid, and I don't look at insurance, so I have a friend in the med center that has good insurance, but she had a liver transplant years ago. And when I went in to visit with the doctor, she saw me, she goes, Wayne, here's how much my portion was, and it was like $394, something like that. I went to your website, I could do the exact same labs for $117. So if you have a high deductible, check, my prices are all there. Literally. So, and if you have the 5 or more labs, I usually tell people don't go through the website and see the pricing. You can to see how much on average, but if you have 5 or more, email me because I'll probably give you a 20% discount or something. Literally. Someone in Florida just did that for their son. I think I told Tanya before. They were part of the Samaritan Health Ministries, the health sharing plan. And it was over $6,000 for one child to get labs. They were genetic labs, 30-some labs. The second one was $4,800. I was able to do them for $895 and $1,700.
Yeah, so you bring a point, yeah, so the shared care plans would benefit from
Yeah. So I'm on the website for Samaritan Health Ministries. They basically tell people go to so I get a lot of people from there.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
How is Med scaling your reach to all of these different clinics across these different states? And how do you manage it today?
So luckily I worked in the med center for 20 years. So I knew a lot of hepatologists, GI doctors. I'm actually on the board for the community advisory boards for the drug companies. I was a big Hep C guy. I had my own radio show. So that was my little niche. So people knew me, knew how to get the medication. So that helped here. So I'm doing really well in Texas. A lot of people, but I'm not doing well in Florida. So I have 38 other states that I'm trying to get basically to expand to. And so when people talk to me and they're like, oh, I wish I would have known about you sooner. I'm like, yeah, I wish I had marketing budget to help over there. So that's my little issue, and I'm rebranding my site. I have a marketing person now to actually do that, but it's expensive. One of my competitors spends over $200,000 a month on marketing. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not doing that. In order, my prices are well below theirs. And so if and my niche is uninsured, his is not. Most of the other direct-to-consumers charge the $30 for a lipid panel, where I charge $14. And so I have my niche. I don't want to increase my prices because people are comfortable with that. Yep. So I have to be unique. I have to find different ways to get out there. So I heard podcasting, a lot of podcasters out there, to talk to them. So there's a lot of other resources I need to figure out. That's what my marketing person is doing to come up with. Yeah.
If you were ever interested in podcasting, I know
Yeah, I mean, literally, I'm looking at health podcasts. I actually have it up on my computer right now because it's like, okay, I have to figure out a different way to reach the masses because, like I said, Chamber of Commerce, most of the small businesses, 44% of them don't have health insurance. And so when people find me, it's like, oh, I wish I would have known about this.
So what's your timing for getting into the, like, I know you got the marketing person, what is your timing look like for trying to get it out to these, I mean, ASAP obviously is probably it, but do you have like a goal in mind that you're trying to hit?
I was trying to do this all last year.
Oh, okay.
And nothing, I couldn't get the right marketing person, I couldn't get the right, everything just did not work last year. So I started fresh this year. Is it a timing thing? No. It's really, for me, like I said, if I didn't even expand to other states, I'd be okay. But it's getting those calls from people in other states that say, wow, I've been going through cancer treatment and it just cost me $5,000 for labs. And I went to your website and could have got them for $500. That's what irks me more than anything. So, yes, sir.
So, I love what you're doing, I love the why, everything about it, and obviously, you said branding, brand awareness is kind of like what one of the big issues you're having right now. But with all of the different challenges, where would you like to see yourself and your business in the next 5 years? What vision do you have for what you're doing?
To basically be where I am in Texas in probably 5 to 10 other states. Literally, that would be, and working with the rural clinics, working with organizations that actually help the uninsured. There's a lot. So FQHCs get federal funds. They're all over the place. We have them here in Pearland, they're in Houston, but the rural clinics that are out in Odessa's, the El Paso's, the Matagorda, they don't get any federal funds. So they're run by churches, or they write grants, or the members give money. And so they don't get discounts on labs. So those are the ones that I'm trying to work with, is organizations like that. Like recovery centers, like I said, recovery center, it costs $800, $900 for labs, and I can do them for $140. Yep. Yes, sir.
So, with all businesses, I know they're trying to make a profit at some point, right? So how does this profit off of this? Like, what percentage do you take off of these labs?
So my ROI is 44%, literally. It's been consistent for the last 5 years, between 24 to 44%. And it's basically because I get them, say, a lipid panel. I get it for $4, probably, $4 or $5. I charge $14. Out of that, I have to pay my medical oversight, $3 for every lab order, then 2.9% for the credit card fee. So I make probably $3 off that one test. Most people do not order one test. They order 5 or more. So I'm making off every person probably between $20 to $50. And that's one person. So mine is volume based. I do 8,000 to 10,000, 12,000 labs a month. So all these 112 clinics, one might do 50 a month, one might do 100, one might do 1,000. So I don't do I invoice them. Like yesterday, that's all I did was invoice all these. I didn't do any work. Once they're set up and they're working, and I'm literally just invoicing the end of the month.
All right, so we do have one last question for you. So how can we as a community help you?
All right. Basically, just getting the word out. Word of mouth actually does work. It does. And it's basically, that's my big need, is basically getting the word out. I don't want someone to think, oh, I can't afford this. There are options out there. So once people know that it's there and is legit, yeah, that would be my big, tell people.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Wayne.